All right, greetings, beautiful people. So this video is inspired by a video I just saw. The alien deceptions and the NWO agenda, or whatever the video is called. I forgot, but it was put up by the Mind Gen. I'm gonna link the video in the description below because I actually want to add on some things to that video. And that video was actually very, 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 very good. So I suggest you guys watch it if you haven't watched it. But check this out, okay? If we wanna talk about aliens, okay? See, this is where my journey stemmed from. My journey started from aliens. I was always a very curious person, as to aliens. Even as a kid, I wanted to see a spaceship. I wanted to see an extraterrestrial. Very, very curious. And it was always so mesmerizing to me to know about aliens. Even when I went to school, I was learning about the pyramids. I was always very, very mesmerized by it. You know what I mean? Because I saw these things, and I'm like, I was so amazed that they can't replicate it now if they wanted to. And I was very, very intrigued by it. So, now that I think of it, more of the reason why I was so intrigued is because I am an alien, and all of you are aliens as well. See, we want to take this place and say this is our home, okay? And this is why when you see in movies alien attacks, alien invasion, this is where they keep your mentality in a different place than it should be. See, the alien is you. And I made a video which is called Area 51 and the Latest Technology. I'm going to link that video also in the description because that video was actually very good. I drop a lot of gems in there, but I don't want to tie that too much of that video in here because it would make it too long. But if you really want to look at something, okay, we're here, okay? We're in Mother Earth. And I was having a conversation with the Mind Gen. And this is why I say when you speak to people sometimes and it's not coming from ego space, you can kind of start to see certain things just by building information on it. But as I'm making this video, I also thought of something he said and kind of wanted to build on it, where he even said that, when he meets a girl, it's for him to learn how to love. But then he changed it and said, well, it's not even that she's teaching me how to love. I'm allowing myself to learn how to love. You get what I'm saying? Now we're here. And where is it that we need to work from all the time to really get to the upper gateways? Is basically our heart chakra, and the anagram for heart is earth. If we're here, we're allowing ourselves to love here on this earth, but knowing that this is not our home. You see? Now, notice this. When you go on vacation, okay, and you got to go to another country, you need a passport, right? See, your passport here is this vessel, and this passport expires just like your passport expires, and you got to renew your passport. All right. Now, while you're here in this experience, this is an experience that you need to go through. Okay. And you need to learn from these experiences here by opening up your heart space and working your heart chakra. Okay. Your earth, your mother. You basically allow yourself to learn to love through earth. I love what the Mind Gen told me when he said that even if he was to get a girl, is to allow himself to learn to love. And I found that beautiful. And I tied that into what I'm saying now, why we're even here. All right. Now, your passport is your vessel and it expires. Notice how when you die, okay, they say you passed away because this is your passport. But here's the thing though, we get so stuck in our body that when we go and we travel, we're being transported or imported, okay? Now, just keep in mind, this is your passport, okay? And you're here as a visitor, but this is not your home. But I want to use another example here. When you go on vacation, you go on vacation to experience. You're having a great time. You're on vacation. What are you vacating from though, right? So you're vacating from your origin to be here to experience. That this is like your vacation. Notice how when you go on vacation to another country, okay, you're very limited. You don't have your car. You would have to Uber to places or take a cab or whatever, or you know what I mean? But you don't have your family and friends. You don't have your job. You don't have your home. There's like more of that real more of your resources. You get what I'm saying? But you're having an experience in another country. You're having a great time, right? Now we end up doing that here, where we are literally, when we do come home, we think this is still our home, our place of residence and all this. But notice we're still very, very limited. If you want to look at it, we only see less than 1% of the color spectrum. We use 10% of our brain, right? Which means that why are we not using the other 90%. They say we do use 100% of our brain. Okay. But check this out. We're in the matrix, right? You see the word matrix, tricks, like a big bag of tricks over here. But when you start doing your magic, you can start to learn how to control and manipulate the, matrix, these bag of tricks that we have out here, okay? Because this is all an illusion, okay? But to say this is an illusion, a lot of people come out and say, oh, it's an illusion and I'm going to, fuck everything. And they want to ditch their responsibilities. But that's not how it works out here. You have to be responsible for your creations because you're waking up when you're supposed to wake up, okay? And it's up to you still to know if you're going to be waking up at that particular moment in time you're supposed to wake up, okay? But everything here, all these experiences you go through, see, we could all have the knowledge, but we're still very limited based on choices we've made in our past. But this is where they want to, and I'm going to keep saying they, but I'm going to get to that because that's another fucking thing you got to worry about. Why do we keep saying they? Who's they? You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? This is where you have to be in an empowered state because this is the trick, is they will put you in a victim mode, especially when you're waking up. You start changing your belief system. You start to blame the government. You start blaming all this. When in actuality, when you're in the appreciation energy, you will be guided divinely. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're going to allow and accept the fact that you're here based on the fact that you put yourself here. Okay? And I'm going to get to targeted individuals in a second based on that. And I took some notes for this because I was meditating and I had all these downloads. I wanted to make sure that I actually didn't miss anything. Okay? But you notice how we say, obey the laws of the land and all that. Now check this out. We're in a vessel, right? We're in this vessel. This is our passport. But if we want to look at it from how we do things here in this 3D realm, all right? When we cross the Mexican borders, let's say we're driving a car. Now we're in a vehicle. That's a vessel. That's like the vehicle, okay? But we still need the proper documentations and we still need the proper, we need a passport to get in, right? So you ever see videos on Instagram, on YouTube, where you got these people who know the laws and they start to fuck with cops? Okay? This is the other way around. You start to become sovereign. You start to know how to fucking work your way around this fucking system. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in a system within a system within a system. All right? Now, I covered when you die, you pass away. But when you pass away, notice people say you go to a wake, right? So I thought you died, right? But did you really die? You went to a wake. That means you went back to something that you're continuing on, all right? And I'm going to get to the physicality of things in a second, all right? So when you leave here, you basically need to now ask yourself, what did you do here while you were here? You get what I'm saying? You went and you experienced another country. You had your good time, but what did you do here? Because here's the thing. I lived in New York, right? And I'll tell you right now, you got tourists that they tour the city, they tour New York City. And what happens is that I came to notice that because I lived in New York City, I didn't take such an exploration of New York City because I took it for granted that I lived in a city, where I found myself even knowing that tourists knew more about New York City than I did because I was traveling everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And there was times where I traveled to Mexico when I was in my old job, and I had people, when I told them I'm from New York, they're like, oh my God, I went to New York, and they were telling me all about New York, and I'm like, God damn, this shit that I never done in my life. You get what I'm saying? So there's things that you take for granted. But now, knowing that you're here, you want to explore as much as you can here, but you also have to explore because you see, there was a picture I saw with an iceberg that sticks above the water. And that's your conscious mind. And then you got underneath, connected to that same little tip of iceberg, is a big boulder of ice underneath the water. And it's deep in the ocean. And they say that's